Happy Thursday! Do we doubt God's goodness because of where we are in life? Or because of trials that have come? Or because of decisions we've made? Welcome to New Nugget. I'm Cassie from Minnesota. And today we're going to be talking about Proverbs 19:3. And I'm going to read it to you quick. There's really good reading today. But this one stood out to me. People ruin their lives by their own foolishness and then are angry at the Lord. Know what I mean? This verse to me shows moments where maybe we feel burnt out in our relationship with God. Maybe because of things that have happened to us or because of disappointments that have come, or we haven't gotten what we wanted yet. And then because of those things, we may get angry at God and think that he's far away from us, that he doesn't love us, or that we doubt what his word says for us. If we begin to doubt God's goodness and love for us, the enemy comes and whispers to us. And he says, see, if God was good, that would have happened by now. If God loved you, you'd be further along by now. If God was for you, that certainly would not have happened. If you were doing more for God, then he'd be blessing you more. The enemy twists our thoughts to get us to doubt God or to make us doubt our ability to follow God's leading. So that's a big red flag to believe that lie. Because if we start to doubt who God is, who his character is, what his promises are, what his love is for us, and who we are in God, then the enemy takes what we want and he twists that also so that those things become desires above God, making them idols, and leading to foolish behavior on our part. But if we trust God as a man of his word, and something doesn't happen in our timing, and we may get disappointed, then that dictates our joy. And maybe walk in sorrow, walk in anger, playing the blame game. It's because of God this is happening. So when we come from a place of knowing who God is and we trust his timing, and when we trust his timing, we get to move forward and then we can still maintain joy. It's his peace that he wants us to have. If we don't look to God to get our needs met, guess where we're going to go? To the world. And then that will lead to foolish decisions and bad behavior, which will bring consequences. So then we may get mad at God because it didn't go the way we thought it would. Yet we didn't seek God first. See that circle? When I don't follow God's leading, there will be consequences. My actions lead to consequences, which lead to pain. It's a lot like training a child, and God is our Father. When I tell my kids, don't touch the fire because it's hot, and they go touch it, it's not me that burned their hands. Their actions burnt their hands. Their actions gave them consequences that gave them pain. So will I get burnt and then blame God? If I don't seek him first, yes. And a lot of times we're not following his word. And sometimes these things get to be selfish. But when we surrender our plans and our wants and our ways to him, then we can live in a place of love and joy, where it comes from his peace, because we trust his plan and will for our lives. It's a place of rest. He's got us. We don't need to look to the world for validation or for consequences, because we come from a place knowing that he is walking with us. With that, I always think of the the Footprints poem, and where there's one set of footprints, it was He that carries me, not me walking alone. Us belonging to Him changes our behavior. When we can get in His Word, not just in the morning, but throughout the day, depending on what He has for us, then we won't make those foolish decisions. We'll be patient in His answers. We don't behave to belong to Him. We are already His. Especially when we ask Him to lead us, when we seek Him every day. We are to live in a place of already being complete, already knowing His love. And if we don't, then we need to seek Him more. His Word, His believers, His songs. Read Psalms. Along this worry, I see a lot of this where worry is the first thing that we do. And then we blame God for the answer that didn't come, or not the answer that I wanted. I don't worry anymore. I don't worry about my kids. I don't worry about what's going to happen. Worry is of the world. God teaches His children to pray first, seek Him first in all of the things, walk in His way, being thankful and trusting His answers, even when they don't come in our timing. Prayer first is God's way. Prayer is our connection with Him, and it gives us an action. It's not a last resort where we pray after we've made a foolish decision because we put our desires above God. So we got to walk in prayer and not worry, and that will take us places. So I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope this encourages you to dwell in His Word a little bit more, to seek what He's saying to you, to stop enough to rest and listen to what He may be saying to you, and just to know that you are incredibly loved. He loves you beyond anything you can ever comprehend. And put your nuggets in the comments, prayer requests or praises too. And I thank you so much for joining us today.